Welcome back to Switzer. My final guest cooked up a dream to crack into the fairly crowded drinks market way back in 2004, leaving corporate careers behind. The pair behind juice brand Emma and Tom have been building momentum and support for their natural and national offerings ever since have grown. Here to tell us all about, welcome Emma Welsh and Tom Griffith to Switzer. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Peter. Listen, let's get back to the story. I know the story, but my viewers don't. So where did the idea come from? You're in corporate world, you're overseas, weren't you, at the time? What made you think juices would be a good idea?
Oh, look, we saw the product overseas. We knew that no one in Australia was doing it. We loved the product, the concept of doing a fruit juice made of whole fruit. Yeah. Given that none of the big players were doing it, we thought we'd have a go ourselves.
What's your training, Tom? You're an accountant, aren't you?
I was a chartered accountant and a CFO.
Is it because accounting is so challenging or boring, you look around for alternatives to escape it?
I mean, this was about the product. I enjoyed my time as an accountant. I was coming back from overseas. Emma and I had been friends for a long time. We met, in fact, having a swimming lesson at age 12. So we thought we'd team up and do our own thing.
Okay. Now, Emma, what was your background before you went into juice?
I had a little bit more experience in the juice area, but not much. I'd done ag science at uni, and then I'd been a commodity trader and buyer. And I
drank a lot of juice?
Drank a lot of juice, and I dealt with a lot of farmers, so I was used to going out and seeing crops and talking to farmers about disasters of frosts and droughts and all the things I'm now learning about as, you know, the cycles. We have lots of oranges, we have crop failures and dealing with that. So you both came home at the same time, or one came, I got an idea to do a juice company, you want to join me? How did that happen?
I mean, I'd had some time off after the Tech Rex skiing in North America. Right. And had seen the product there and thought of Emma immediately and ran it past her, and she thought about it for a few days and gave me a call, and I was up in Bondi having a bit of a surfing holiday, and she said, yeah, well, let's do it.
Let's do it. So how easy is it to, get a brand and then sell it? Like, you're an accountant, you're a commodity trader, and all of a sudden you start a fruit juice. How do you do that?
Yeah, well, we thought it was going to be a lot easier than it actually ended up being. But to start off with, we did something really simple. We went down to some stores that we thought would be likely customers of our product and talked to them and hung on their fridge doors and looked at what they had in the fridges and we had some pictures of what we would like to offer to the customers. Yeah. And we said to the retailers, what do you think about this if we do this? If we give you some flash pasta, or we didn't even know it was flash pasta at the time, but fresh juices in a bottle, would you sell it? And they said, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And so we went to a couple more and they were all saying the same thing. And we thought, oh.
So market research was good?
Basic.
Basic. But then it's all very well having an idea. How do, two corporate people actually get juice into plastic containers and then reliably deliver them, on a regular basis?
Well, it took us... We thought it was going to take us 3 months, and it ended up taking us a year to get the product to market. So there's all the things that you have to think about. You have to think, what's your brand, what's your brand position, your brand identity, and work out all that. Yeah. The product, what's the product going to be? What blends of juices are we going to have? Yeah. And then the bottle, we had to get the bottle designed, the cap, then who's going to make it? Yeah. And we had to find somewhere to make it.
So you weren't juicing up the kitchen table?
Well, that's how we did our product development.
Okay, product development.
And then we were running around cafes and doing focus groups and making sure that it tasted exactly as it should. And 5 years in the track, it still does. Yeah. The quality's been maintained, and the Australian market really has embraced whole fruit juices because they contain whole fruit, they contain fibre, they have the nutrition of 2 or 3 pieces of fruit, and people want that, they demand that now.
Okay, so, all right, so you prove the product, it's a bit like the last guest was on, you prove the product. How do you then, and you went to obviously the kind of delicatessens and gourmet food places that would want to carry this, then how do you get the momentum to, because you start off in Victoria and I presume you work the Victorian market out first. Is that the way you went?
We had a hit list of stores that we absolutely wanted to be in, and when we launched with 8,000 bottles of fruit juice on day one and no customers, we jumped in vans and ran around all these stores and convinced them to take the juice on board and put it in their fridge, and sure enough it sold. And from there you take little steps.
Yeah. But did you also do things like turn up to major events and do giveaways and stuff like that? Like, how did you get the market momentum going? It couldn't be just through the store, sure.
No, just to start off with, I mean, our launch plan was we knew we'd have to make 10,000 bottles on day one. So what are you going to do with them? I mean, you can't sell them all. So one of our first relationships with sporting bodies was with Bicycle Victoria.
Right.
And they run Ride to Work Day, and they have Round the Bay in a Day as events, cycling events. And so we donated a lot of juice to them. So that was a good way to get the juice into the people's hands that were the right sort of demographic for us, and start getting the product known. And then we could talk about that to the store owners, and they were happy that we were supporting the product in that way. So we did a lot of that, and we still do. We like getting the product into people's hands and having them taste it. And we've got Emma and Tom's Christmas Fest this year down in Melbourne, and we're doing that for the second time. So it's another 2,000 people, and we're giving 2,000 bottles of juice away that day.
Yeah, you obviously you've stuck at it. So, are you in all states of Australia now?
Yeah, we're in all states. We're probably in a couple of thousand stores. We're in Costco and doing some trials in Coles. We're exporting to 5 or 6 countries and getting a lot of interest out of that. So, after 5 years of literally servicing the route trade in Australia, which is notoriously scattered, obviously, haven't got to one account that you can rely on taking pallet by pallet of juice every week. We've serviced the route trade, the high-end route trade, and they're the people who really know what they want. They want a good product for their customers. They know where every dollar in their shop goes, obviously. So we've done that. And now it's about building on that and maintaining it. But being a small business still, you've got to focus on all the little things still, and it's about us still going out to servicing the customers.
You're now taking on the supermarkets, or starting to work with supermarkets. Is that the next frontier?
That's it. We're trialling in a number of large supermarkets. That's gone on the face of it exceptionally well. In fact, when we walked in, even the staff sort of celebrated, which was great, in a couple of stores, and thought that was an exciting new offering to have. That to us, I suppose, is a challenge. We want the brand to be broadly available in Australia, and if you want that to be the case, you need to be in large supermarkets. And the challenge is to keep your route trade customers happy as well.